Hey there, friends, and welcome back to another 3-Minute Thoughts. My name is Derek, and in the next 3 minutes, we're going to dig into the book of Esther. And Esther is one of the most dramatic and beautiful books in scriptures, showing how God works behind the scenes to protect his people. An interesting side note about the book of Esther is the book of Esther doesn't mention God by name even once, but his fingerprints are everywhere. It's the story of God's divine power, how God works through unlikely people and ordinary choices to accomplish his saving plan. Let's take a look at chapters 1 through 5. We're going to start with chapter 1. This one's going to set the stage. A guy named King Ahasuerus, also known as King Xerxes. It's kind of an interchange of two different names based on cultural understandings. He's going to throw this huge feast to display his wealth and power when his queen, Queen Vashti, refuses to appear before the king and his drunken guests. She gets deposed. It looks like a pretty rash decision, but it opens the door for Esther to take the scene. Chapter 2 introduces us to Esther. Esther is a young Jewish woman raised by her cousin Mordecai. She's beautiful, and she wins the favor with everyone she meets. Out of countless women, she is chosen as queen. Mordecai stays close, sitting at the king's gate, and one day he overhears a plot against the king's life. He reports it, saving the king, though the deed goes unnoticed, at least for the moment. Chapter 3 turns a little dark. Haman, a high-ranking official within the king's entourage, is honored above all others. Everyone bows down to him, well, everyone but Mordecai, who refuses out of his own faithfulness to God. Enraged, Haman decides that he doesn't just want Mordecai dead, he plots to annihilate all the Jews in the entire empire. He convinces the king to issue a decree, sealing it with the king's authority. The date is set. Destruction for God's people is imminent. Chapter 4 then shows how the crisis takes full stage. Mordecai tears his clothes and he mourns in sackcloth. He sends word to Esther, urging her to plead with the king, but Esther knows the risk. Anyone who approaches the king uninvited can be put to death, but Mordecai's words cut deep. Who knows whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Esther responds with courage. If I perish, I perish. She calls the people to fast and prepares to step into danger. Chapter 5 begins her bold move. Esther dresses in her royal robes and goes to the king's court. Instead of anger, the king welcomes her and extends the golden scepter. She invites him and Haman to a banquet. Haman leaves proud of his favor with the queen, but enraged again by Mordecai's refusal to bow down. All of this is going to show us how God's sovereignty is working in the background. Be well, friends.